Hello, I am going to go over to my home cybersecurity systems. I'm going to go over the threats pending against my system currently, the devices that are affected. I'm going to go over the base methodology, recommendations that I found that I needed to implement, um, what I have used to mitigate the threats, and then references. So, threats are personal targeting threats. Those are the ones who I've personally offended either online or in my day-to-day life that either I'm aware or unaware of. Um, those are what those the personal targeting would be. Phishing attacks are those emails, scammers that's trying to get my information or steal my identity. Mass targeting, which is like a spray and pray. They use things like Trojan, malware, bots, ransomware, things of that nature to get people to give them information in a larger scale. Uh, and then other threats are physical, which are accidents, system failures, or loss, which is theft or misplaced items or devices. These are all my devices that are affected currently on my network. I have 2 laptops, a desktop, 2 phones, a TV, TV streamer device, and my router modem. The methodology is baseline, audit and assess, secure, evaluate, and educate. Um, Very simple. Baseline physical. Um, I go. My internet provider is GCI, and the internet runs from fiber optic cables outside into the house, and is powered by a modem and a router, which is all in one that we use currently, which the GCI is going to. So if you have just a modem or modem and then a router, they're actually combining them now, at least in our area, and I think it's so when we go to five Gs or whatever it's called, everybody could run off the same devices. I don't know. Not a cyber guy. Secure Wi-Fi. It is a secure Wi-Fi access. You have to have my passcode to access it, and it is on a surge and ground protector to protect it from electricity backfire. Findings: 2 laptops and a computer. 2 computers, which are the laptops, have a firewall and antivirus protection on them. The desktop only has a firewall currently. All devices were configured to not be seen on network or by each other, and they're all ground protected when in use. The cell phones, one of them has a mobile antivirus program configured properly and has cloud data backup. The Android's configured properly, but doesn't have a mobile antivirus currently, as of when I did my assessment. The Roku is only accessible through the TV, doesn't transmit data broadcast-wise, as in Bluetooth. Doesn't store personal data, but the apps that I use on it does. But most of those apps are password protected anyways. And it is also protected by a surge ground protector. Same thing with the TV. TV is only Bluetooth accessible, but it's not password protected. At least I didn't find any of those settings, but it is ground and surge protected. I ran an audit through our network, analyzed who's on it, and I used a Nmap and Smart Source to figure out if there was any ghost protocols running in the background that we were unaware of. I checked to make sure that all softwares on all devices were updated, and most of them were. Um, updated those who wasn't. Ran antivirus spyware protection on the computers to see if there's any viruses or malware running um, with the systems on the network. I checked the system and network settings on the modem router to see if there's anybody that's accessed our internet that we were unaware of. And then I checked all the hard drives and data storage to see if they're functioning. And what I found was that all the devices didn't have any viruses, thank goodness, considering how vulnerable it was. Um, didn't find anybody outside our network having access to our system. Um, so at least we're standing there pretty good. Secured. Um, all the devices that the children use have restricted access, meaning that we have to give them a password to get on. They can only access what we want them to access, and in order for them to change the settings, they would have to have admin permission, which they don't have. All the mobile devices settings are password and biometric protected, i.e., thumbprint, facial recognition, or password to access. Evaluate and educate. Initial assessment of the system was more positive than I was expecting. Um, considering how illiterate we are in the cyber realm, we were sitting pretty good. We'll continue monitoring the devices regularly and keep all the software's data up to date and systems up to date. We're going to change passwords frequently than we have been. And the devices that can will look into getting a VPN and downloaded and utilized or similar data monitoring software to help further protect us in layering against cyber attacks. And then we're going to continue evaluating each of the methods that we implemented frequently. Recommendations, like I said, continue to learn about the cyber realm and cyber awareness scams. Expand my knowledge in the cyber realm, educate my children as they access the devices on what to look for, and be mindful of the sites and data sites out there to get their information. Overall, be smart about the internet. I'm going to be more aware of the metadata, the collection and sources of sites and people who are collecting that. I'm going to continue monitoring my personal information and have it protected. My bank does it for the banking, but we will do it. I like to handle it internally anyways, and so we're going to do it more often than allowing some other person to do it. I'm going to keep system logs and monitor any anomalies on all the devices, and I'm going to understand more of my internet providers' protocols, so I'll know exactly if they're safe from the outside. And mitigation, turning off the devices that are not in use, install the antivirus software on devices that we're lacking. I plan to keep all of that updated and configured correctly. As I said before, we're going to change passwords and passwords more often, probably every 90 days or so, and just regularly assess whether or not we're being vulnerable or not. These are my references. Any questions?